Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to November's Sacred Currency Month. Last month in October, we focused on your energy as a form of currency. And this month, I want to deep dive a little bit into the highest form of currency that you can tap into for this year. And that currency for me and hopefully for you is gratitude, because I found that November, before it even came in, it felt like release and renewal. Almost every person I've interacted with in the month of October coming down was like, October was so shaky. It was as if it was an earthquake, and it unearthed so much out of us. And some of us also feels as if we were imploded into. It's like I had this dormant period. It was like everything was, I don't know, like I was like space was cleared, right? And now I only have myself, and it felt so lonely, and I don't know what to do. And all these feelings are coming up and they're unearthing. Why am I remembering all these memories now? What am I going to do with them? And October was decluttering of your physical space, also your spiritual space. And what I learned in October is that we are energy hoarders. We hoard onto so many energies. Everybody that we meet, we take something from them. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. I'm the empath, and you take a part of that shadow with you. We take on and we take on, and we don't learn how to, balance or keep our boundaries and have spiritual hygiene, to the T, where it protects not just our spiritual selves, but it protects the physicality of the body. And October was that month where people really felt as if, oh my gosh, I'm going through what people call the dark night of the soul, but it was just your soul preparing you for what this month brings in. Your soul preparing you, October, to say, listen, these are the things that possibly are holding you back. These things you're spending your currency on, worrying, on hate, on bloodthirst, on bitterness, on the old family stories, on the ancestral traits that were passed down through your DNA, that you really do believe I need to hold on to. And it was like an earthquake, and for some people it was a explosive volcano. People in your family you haven't met in a long time, they met you, but not with likeness. It was with arguments. It was just, oh my gosh, why are you so mean this month? It was a soul test for all of us, I think, to now just pause for a moment and say, damn it, what is my relationship with this thing that's unearthing now? How does it serve me now? And what the daylights am I going to do with it? Do I really need to have these coins? And if there aren't something that gives you peace and joy, October was that month. And also this, it's just choices. How do I choose to deal with this? Do you know what I mean? So November is the month of release and renewal. It is the month of gratitude. And this is how we release and renew, because we have to be grateful for something. If we're always looking outside of ourselves in judgment and, in blame and pointing fingers, and it's your fault, that's why, and it's your reason, that's why, we take away the very subtle things we should be grateful for, do we not? So this November, look at your soul's ledger. Yes, we're going technical. Where did your energy go this year? Not just October, the entire 2025, and it started with a bang. Where did you spend your energy? What did you purchase? And are you walking away with peace and gratitude? So I want you to visualize this, because this is in my mind and it's so really cool. Remember them older movies that we'd watch at the end of the year that would show, in the time of Yeshua back in Pharaoh times, where you would see all these beautiful markets out there. It's very ancient. They're wooden structures, but there's so many things. You've got people with trinkets. You can imagine children running around with little beads they want to sell you. You've got fruits and vegetables, and it's so lush and beautiful. So imagine this right now. It's alive. It's filled with sound and the scents and the essences, and you can hear the bells. I don't even have a bell. Oh, I have a bell. I have it. Imagine you can hear that all around you, and people are bustling and their voices, and it's just fruitful. There's so much here. Now, Every one of you, you have your own coin to spend in this luscious ancient marketplace, and you are ready to trade. Now, you take your time as you go through this town, just visualize it. I love to visualize myself in these times, and I try to smell the soil in the air and just soak up everything because it brings me back with wisdom, and this is what I bring back from it. So imagine yourself in this beautiful ancient marketplace, and you get to feel the herbs, and you get to smell the fruits, and the trinkets are over there, and also the fabric. Feel the fabric that's there. This is a luscious ancient marketplace. Now you're ready to spend. Now, by the time of your whole experience in this ancient marketplace, decisions were made. Now, some of us will leave with baskets of nourishment and choices that feeds our mind, body, and soul. It gives us peace. It nourishes the body. It allows your body to be attuned. It's healthy. It's helping somebody just because you have a memory that you take back from it to say, oh, that lady, she was $1 short and I paid it for her. This is a whole lush experience at this ancient marketplace. Some of us, on the other hand, we will leave with trinkets that vanish by nightfall. There's no judgment to you. This was a beautiful ancient marketplace of choices. Now, within this space, as we are here, whew, what did you spend your time on? How does it feel? What do you have to be grateful for? When you spend gratitude, it multiplies. So I was kind to somebody just because. And for some reason, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of years down the line, this individual's child or somebody who witnessed that understands, oh my gosh, this was the individual. This is the imprint they left. So let me lend a hand now because of that one seed of kindness that this person planted there. And you look at it, it was like, oh my gosh, gratitude multiplies. I am grateful for my opportunity to be in this ancient marketplace. I'm not here alone. I'm here to observe, and I'm just walking in peace and kindness. And I'm grateful for that. And because of that, I can see through the cracks and understand the things that are now mirrored with the energy that I'm carrying. And it comes back to you like interest in the spirit. Do you know you have money in the bank or your investments, and it hits payroll, it hits bank day, and interest is double or it's multiplied, and you can say, oh my gosh, I got interest back. For you, your energy and the currency of gratitude multiplies infinitely because it never ends. It's a beautiful domino effect that falls the moment you understand, where did I choose to spend it? On the other hand, the people who chose the trinkets, those beads that look very beautiful or whatever they are, but they aren't very well put together. And because of that, while you're putting it on after you take a shower, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, it breaks apart. And whatever you spent on it doesn't even matter. It broke apart. Did it give you peace and joy? It was very short lived. And because of that choice that you made, which still was your choice, now you have a lesson to learn to say, you know what, next time I go to this ancient marketplace, I really am going to be very cautious and aware of how I choose to spend my currency. Because that thing, it was very beautiful. However, it didn't really last that long. So there's no judgment for your choices, but you're the one who carried the debts. You carried the resentment, the fear, the judgment, the feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't deserve, I might as well settle for that thing. So that's all I'm going to spend my currency on, instead of using your voice to say, I really do feel that this aligns with me. And this is what I have though. Will you consider to take this coin that I have today for this thing that feeds my soul? You never asked. That's what God says many times, ask and it shall be given. And most of us, we walk this path and we never ask. So as you go through this month of November, you will be experiencing many ancient marketplaces, many decisions you have to make. And I want you to choose to leave with baskets of nourishment that feeds your mind, body, and soul. Because it's so important when you do. And you see the debts that you carry, the ones that causes all these other archetypes of resentment and judgment of yourself, you can release them. You don't need to hold on to them. They're simply things that aren't yours to carry. So this month, hold on to 5 things. 1, keep your energy ledger. Be aware and accountable is the word that comes to me. Be aware and accountable of how you spend your energy. 2, spend gratitude every day. Every single day, wake up with the acknowledgement that you're grateful for something. You can start with your breath. I'm so grateful I have breath today. And set that intention every single day of experiencing the joy and the peace and the happiness or whatever it is, the abundance in this world. 3, release the old debts. Release all these other things that makes you feel so drained and depleted and not being able to be in this beautiful life and enjoying the very subtle things that gives you a reason to be thankful. The flower that just opened, the animals at play, nature after it goes through goes through a catastrophe, how nature starts to teach you that even in the midst of the muck and the mud and the disasters that just went past, if you will allow me, I will continue to send my root. I will continue to grow if you will allow me. 4, I want you to keep on honoring your ancestors. Somebody said to me the other day, you're saying that you don't want to carry the weight of slavery. And I said, no, unapologetically, I won't. Honor your ancestors. When I say that, it doesn't mean that I don't honor all my ancestors who went through those atrocities. I simply choose not to carry the burdens because what they went through, what they experienced, and what they ensured that they passed down to us was for us to understand they fought that fight for us to ensure that we don't carry those burdens. But I will carry the light and I will input light into those stories, and I will be the one, most of us should, to be the one who speaks on these things in honoring their path and the things that they experience, but to make sure that we stand in our truth and our power, that the generation that comes behind us doesn't go back to that, does not choose to go back to slavery, to pain, to all those atrocious things. So I release the pain and the weight of what happened in ancestry or the stories that were told. Why? Because I choose to imprint upon it light, currency of gratitude and growth and healing and love. And 5, invest in rest. Please do. Your body speaks to you this month especially. Some of us feels so lethargic after sleep, and it's an influx of so many energies. I had a visual of seeing this planet, and it's like it's not split in two, but there are 2 energies right now permeating Earth, which is amazing. It's almost like a roar like energy. And I don't want to talk about dragons, but it's interesting. So there's a beautiful energy. You can see a orange red aura on one side and a neon blue on the other, for those of you who can visualize it. And it's absolutely beautiful. And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It's just that it needs to be permeating the atmosphere right now. And for those of you who feel it, that's how you feel. You will feel lethargic at times because your body now, this super conscious universe that you walk in, it tells you what it needs. And sometimes it needs rest, it needs reset. The first thing that is affected when you start to pick up on energies that are outside of the physicality of your body is your nervous system. Is the first thing that starts to be affected. So you have the joint pains and no reason. And it feels, for me, it feels as if I am having what they call phantom pain. Sometimes I feel as if I have 2 other arms that are in pain. And I only have 2, but I feel as if they're at least 6 sometimes, like just pain is. And as soon as I take this sacred breath and I come back to I don't know, back to balance in a sense. I can slowly feel it just dissipating, and it goes. As you go through what people call ascension symptoms for this month of November, there's so many help that's out there. There's so many energies of trying to help us to balance this, to make sure that our bodies can acclimate to these. So you'll have the amplified dreams. You'll have the amplified knowingness, knowing what somebody's feeling before they say it. Just having this insight that you've never had before. Just hearing these voices that, if you're not careful, will make you think you're going absolute nuts. Feel into them and ask. We're so afraid to ask. We're afraid to say, oh my gosh, God, what is this? Give me clarity on this. I don't understand that dream. I just knew that I was supposed to turn right today. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy I did. And ask. Tap into this beautiful resource that you do have. And just go through this month of November as I am now trying to balance my ledger. You're not trying to close deals right now. You're trying to just balance your ledger for everything you've done for the rest of the year. So you can do an assessment to say, okay, these are the debts I need not to carry on to the new year, whenever that new year comes. For some human beings, it's a different month. It does not matter when, energetically. What matters is that you are taking accountability for how you spend your energy and the gratitude that you give. You must step forward with gratitude. You must step forward with just the breath that you have or the sun that's hitting you. And for me, it's, my gosh, it's like a two-sided coin for me, because I am so, this week was a soul test for me, because what happened in Jamaica affected millions. And those of us who are overseas with families there, who went through a period of not hearing anything from them. For me, it was 48 hours silence, nothing. And you know what I learned then? And I'm kind of happy that I did. Don't take for granted the people around you that you love. They hold a whole bag of energy for you too. Because although I knew that my family was okay, not hearing their voices and not knowing or seeing what was happening on ground zero, it was almost debilitating to the physical body. It was almost debilitating to the mind. And I got this message, human activation, and I'm only saying it here because maybe it will help somebody. Many things that happens that we witness and experience in the physicality is really a small speck of what really is happening spiritually. And things that happen physically, no matter how atrocious it may feel, seem, because you're in it. And Jamaica right now is going through a very debilitating period. For those of us who foresee it, the probability was for it to be worse than it is. It's crazy for me to say that because it's so bad I cannot imagine it being worse. But the probability was for it to be worse, and it was like an orchestrated storm, and it just... But although if you're going to put, numbers in it and say, okay, let's say 30% of the country, or 40%, not 40%, but let's say 30% of the country is being ostracized, like completely almost depleted. We have to remember energetically, that is still 80% of what the country needs to function with ease, because those are the bread baskets of this country that really did focus on the food and so many other things that this country needed. And that part of the country is now going to be dependent on the other parts. So I say this because this ancient marketplace comes back to my mind. How do we choose to spend our energies now? Because for those 2 days when I didn't hear from my family, I had to make a decision. Do I wait to hear from them, or do I start to add frequency of love into this space? And I chose on the first day, where do I send? Where do I send? How do I help? Without knowing what happened, if they were okay or not. And by doing that, it pumped this energy of rehabilitation in this space before the news even got to see what was happening for real, how much devastation is. And what kept coming through was humanity activated, not just for Jamaica, for all the other Caribbean countries, for every other country that will, because there will be more. Humanity activated so we can now choose what really matters to us energetically, because we've been taught to focus on only on the physical things that we acquire. But humanity activated, especially for this month of November, going further, is telling us what truly matters. What sacred currency are you spending your time, your energy, your focus on? Is it just, oh my gosh, it's just these physical things that I can acquire? Or how can I input light into this part of the world? Just because, not because I have family there. How can I support the staff that I have who are affected by what's happening in Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean now? Maybe I can give them a day or two off with pay. What can I do to lend a hand? Maybe I can mobilize and put resources together that will allow this country to have not just one source of help or just one time source of help, because these countries that are affected by this hurricane that just passed needs help, but they need help that will stay. And that is something that is energetic. It's humanity activated for us to now make these choices. Where do I spend my energy? My currency, where do I put it? I can pray. Don't have the money to give. I'm spending a few seconds and I'm praying. I'm sending the energy of healing and recovery for those lands, for those people. I'm sending resources in love and in kindness for the mental state of these individuals who are there. There are many people in Jamaica and these Caribbean countries that have been affected that were already in a mental state that was not the best before the storms hit. I want you to mirror that with somebody who's also now just lost everything that they were trying to hold on to. So there was a mental instability because I'm stretched to my limits. That was before the storm. Now the storm has hit. I'm no longer stretched to my limits. That rubber band has busted. It's gone. I can't even find it. It's ripped my life apart. I am a farmer and all my produce, everything that I've worked for is completely being diminished, which means it's taken away my stability and my way for providing for my family, my community, my country. I am a business person and I've spent all my life, everything that I have hoarded together to build this business that was washed away in one day. It was just gone. I am a young person and I've just been thinking of, oh, I'm going to start my own business, my mom and pop business, whatever it is, doing nails, doing barbershop, my little store, and it just went in one day. I was just simply thinking that I'm just tapping out of what they call depression, and I just got a job and the place just completely got annihilated and I am homeless and now rippled with complete loss. What do I do? Do you understand the trajectory of where I'm going? So this is why my guide said to me, humanity activated. We're going to get these soul tests continually until we really choose to freely activate the humanitarian in all of us. So not everyone needs money. Not everyone needs, you know, somebody to be there to help them to build. Especially in Jamaica, some people just need the resources to build their own houses because they're already builders, they're already plumbers, they tap into their creative skills, right? But they need also an energy of love and healing. They also need not prayers just for this person, prayer for every single aspect of these things that are happening, for the land especially, so it can recuperate, for the people, for the homes, for the schools, for the government, the people who are left to be accountable for what they're doing, for everyone who is orchestrating the resources for charity or whatever they call it, that they hold on to the ethics to ensure that what they are saying they are going to do, they will do. But there's so much help needed. And as soon as we feel as if we're going to catch breath, another will happen. And it's humanity activated. not to completely deplete us, but for us to make our minds up. Are we going to still live selfishly as we go to this marketplace just to take one trinket because, oh, it's beautiful and I can afford it, and if it goes, it goes? Or are you going to activate the empath in you? Are you going to activate the Christ consciousness and say, I will do what I can do from where I am? And it could just be, my God, help them. Just that is enough energetically. So for this month of November, this sacred currency month, be aware that the greatest currency that you can have in this moment is gratitude for those who are still alive, for those who have their houses. And while you're expanding on your ledger and seeing where your gratitude goes, where do you spend it now? How do you give back light to this planet? How do you choose to be boots on the ground? And as you do that, I thank you so much for listening to me all the time as we expand these beautiful energies that are coming in. Be cautious with yourself. Be aware of your body. Listen to your body as it speaks. You're going to go through this phase where things you are starting to repel. Your body saying, no, no, no. Even though you prepared it, the body says, no, I don't want that right now. Listen to your body. Allow the super consciousness that is your body to guide you to the things that it needs as these energies slowly tries to redirect us to love. And you can't see it. Most of you won't acknowledge it, but y'all feel it. You feel this urgency inside you. You feel it inside you. You feel these things unearthing, but you're looking at it the wrong way. You're thinking that something is happening. Oh my gosh, why am I getting these memories? It's because you're holding on to them too long. It's time for you to release them because a new season is coming. You can't step into a new season with winter still coming behind you, you know. You gotta let it go. Shake it off. Change your attire. I had to change now from summer clothes because winter is coming. Change your attire. You have to release completely. And I pack away all my summer stuff because it's not the season for that right now. So that's how you approach this. And so many soul tests are left to come in all parts of the world. Jamaica will experience civil unrest, unfortunately, because there's a dichotomy of I need help, but will I wait for the help? Will I trust for the help to come? And remember, I explained already about the mental stability of some people of feeling that they're so unfairly dealt with. And many people will think, I can't wait, I won't wait. But what we want to implore is, if you have families in these places, help your families. If it's just them you can't help, because that will take the pressure off. But majority of people will be looking in one space. I need help from this space. And what we're trying to do is activate humanity, because the one space in the political sphere that the populace are looking towards won't be able to completely resustain this place. It's humanity activated. And as the civil unrest, it will unfold, but energetically, we're spreading the word so it won't be as bad as it's projected to be. Because it will rise. Jamaica will rise. These countries will rise, but not alone. With help. With help, with prayers, with support, with supporting even their families that are here that wants to be home, wants to be on the ground to help, to dig, to clear. Any way you can. It's boots on the ground. So November just started. Prepare yourself. Release and renewal. That's what this month is all about. Be aware of how you spend your energy. Be the love. Be the light. And I thank God for taking us into this beautiful sacred space, as always, to give you messages of hope, maybe in a different language that everyone can understand. So you know that you are supported, that you are guided, and there's nothing that's happening now that is, let's say, not supposed to happen. It's either happening for us to cohesively come together to choose, man, that's not right. How do I help to add light into that situation and make sure it doesn't happen again? But everything that happens is choreographed for a reason, to shake us up, to unearth many things that need to be unearthed. You have no idea energetically how many things needed to be unearthed, and at the same time, while it happened, We have choices that we make, and sometimes the choices we make aren't the best for ourselves because we don't trust our intuition that said, leave, move, stop, go, love, give. You know what I mean? All these things. But life goes on. Rebuilding always happens. The earth has proven that over and over again. It always tries to replenish itself. So as the earth does that, we should do too. We build ourselves again together and together and together in any way we can. Happy November. Peace and love and joy to all of you. Okay? See you next month for the next Sacred Currency month of December.